We're going to switch over, and now we're going to be talking about, is it Jajjas or Yayas?
Jajja.
Jajja. I thought I was right, so it was Jajjas. Kids, and this is in Uganda, and we've talked before. This is and you brought photographs, so we're definitely going to go through the photographs. But this is an amazing project that Diane, you kind of, it came to you, right?
I kicked it off, yes.
Yeah. And how long has this been going on?
Well, I first met my counterpart, Ronnie, in 2006. And so we've been working since
Almost
then.
10 years.
Well,
I mean, no.
it's more like
17.
17.
Yeah.
17.
Whoa, wait a
18
minute.
years.
Where am I going with this? Yeah.
Wish it
Not
was
16, we're talking 6, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a while.
16 years. And we became an organization in 2008 and started taking children in 2012. So we've had a home for kids ever since 2012.
That's wonderful, yeah. Do you want to jump right into the photos so that we can talk about them as we go?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Raymond, perhaps you could bring up the first one. She has those in order, and I hope that I've got them in the order you want them.
We can work around it. It's
Yeah, okay. So the first set.
Yeah, so Connie and I were in Uganda in December.
Okay, so we're going to leave these photos up as you talk about them.
Okay, we were in, and so this is a few group photos. The kids we had not seen the children for 5 years, and they wanted to have a big celebration while we were there. We had a ribbon cutting because we had built a house in 2019.
Built a house too, yeah, wow.
And they waited until we were there to have the ribbon cutting, which was really kind of
Nice.
sweet. So yeah, so that was what was going on then. And the kids at the top are in front of the gate to the house, and below they're preparing matoke, which is dried. It's matoke, it's a banana.
Oh, okay.
It's like a hard, dry banana that they're peeling it and they're going to cook it, and it becomes this big. They love it. Big
Okay.
staple.
Oh, that's interesting. Like a plantain?
It's like a mashed. They mash it up, so it's kind of like mashed potatoes.
But it's a mashed banana.
But it's mashed banana.
What is it called?
Matoke.
Matoke. Okay, good. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the right is a picture. We took the kids to the movies. It was the second time they'd ever been to a movie theater.
Oh my goodness! You
And-
don't bring the movie to them. You go take them
Yeah,
out.
we
That's
we
good.
took them out, and to be in a mall, it was just very exciting.
Oh, they
So
have a
we-
mall there?
Yeah, there's malls. This is so. Yeah, so it was
What do
a
I
great
know?
visit.
Well, one of the fun things of them being in the theater was it was just us in the theater. There was no one else in the theater. And the kids afterwards,
What was the movie?
it was
The
one of
Marvels.
The
The
Marvels,
Marvels, the
okay.
women-focused warriors, you know,
good.
heroes.
And one of the kids, well, a couple of the kids, started to do shadow puppets in front of the screen as the credits are running by.
Oh my!
You know, and it
How
was
did they
just
even?
so
Oh well,
much fun.
it's probably
And they have a dance movement that they do that's like birds, and it was the most gorgeous shadow on this screen.
Yeah.
And
How
they
cool
were
is that? What an
having
experience!
fun.
Yeah.
And there were like 22 of us or so in the theater, you know, it was just our group. As Connie said, it was just great fun. It was
what
wonderful.
fun.
So, yeah,
So
yeah.
they're not afraid to
Express.
have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to do more of that, don't we?
Yeah.
right.
And what's the second slide there that we have? I think there's 3 pictures on that one. Or yeah, there we go. So tell me
So
what
do you
these
wanna-
are.
So one of the things that we're working on right now is our fundraiser that's coming up.
Right, you have, and we're going to be talking about that.
21st.
Yeah.
And we're focusing on the education of these kids. Education in Uganda is not free. And we are...
Which limits it.
Yeah, and we are to the point now where we have kids that are graduating from high school and then going on to other programs. And we're working very hard to figure out what each of the children's abilities are and feeding them into that.
Okay,
Not
so the
everyone
photos
is
represent-
ready to go to the university.
Yeah.
So we have the first image on the left is of
Nicholas, yep.
who's a wonderful, wonderful artist. And he's painting a picture there that's going to be for sale at our fundraiser. And he wants to become an interior designer.
Oh, wonderful.
And the one in the middle is Daphne, and she's in her first year in nursing. And
Yeah, I kind of assumed that when I saw her
Yeah,
photo.
yeah.
We did an interview with the 5 kids that are in college and university, and she described her it was her second month, and she was required to go into a hospital, and she had to do a cannulation on a baby. And it was like, I don't know anything. I've only been in this program for 2 months.
And it was her first day at the
And it
hospital,
was
no
her
less.
first day at the hospital.
So they expected her to know that, or?
Well, she was very smart. She went to someone that she knew had been there more than she had, and said, "I'm new here. I'm first semester. Please help me out." And so they guided her, and they all applauded when she did did it successfully.
Good for her.
And then the one on the far right is Sonia, who is going to law school.
Wonderful.
And it's pretty amazing to hear these kids talk about what they're learning. They go right into their programs when they're in the university. She has 7 law classes, no
Liberal arts.
No liberal arts, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask just a question, because I'm appreciative of everything that you're showing me. What would happen if you were not there to these kids? What would their lives have been like?
They would have not had any dreams at all. They would have been living on the street. Who knows if they
No
would
education.
have survived to the age that they are now.
So what you're doing has impact.
Very much
Absolutely.
so, very much so. And the thing is that over the years, we've learned that only 25% of Ugandans ever graduate from primary school.
Primary, we're not talking
primary.
high school, we're talking
Not talking, and it's about the same for high school.
Well, if you're talking about that it's not free, these are not people that are wealthy and have the opportunity to get funding or
Right,
anything. So
right.
this is a big thing if they send their kids to school.
Right,
One
it's
of
very
the-
much so, yeah.
One of the things that we also did while we were there is we interviewed each of the children to get them to describe to us where they were when Ronnie found them, and what their life was like beforehand and what their life is like now in being in Jajja's Kids. And it was amazing to listen to these kids who would sit there and say, well, yeah, I had a mom and a dad, but
They couldn't take
they
care of me,
couldn't
right?
take care of all of us. So we were out selling little things or living on the street.
Yeah, like one of our kids, his parents left him at the door and they never came back. They just dropped him off. And he was on the verge of tears as he described that to us. And it's like, well, that's life. That's
Well, and it
what they
had
have
to be
to
difficult
endure.
for the parents as well, but they were just trying to
Right.
make it somehow, whether
Parents have
for the
been-
rest of the kids or whatever. We
Right.
don't know what they were going through.
Right.
you
And
know,
parents have been very grateful.
Unfortunately, it was tough on the kids. And I think there's the last slide that we had, Raymond, that kind of talks about the event coming up. And there
right,
we are.
Right. Oh, yeah, the last picture there on the left is Mark, one of our college kids, university, and he's studying engineering.
Uh-huh.
And here he is, first semester, and there he is on the site.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like, I thought he was he was
Right.
the
And
guy.
in fact, I just had to send money for his final exams, his first semester final exams, and they're going to be on the site as well. So,
Right.
right away they're getting, it's so different than the education system here, we're
Absolutely.
just learning all that at
Yeah,
this
and
point.
it's
His
I like it.
comment about his schooling, which I thought is just fascinating. He says it's easier than high school because he's
Doing
learning
what he wants.
something that he really wants to learn.
Yeah.
He's wanted to do this for years. He's been so focused to be a civil engineer. It's just,
That's
in his
wonderful.
glory.
Now, you've got a
So the event-
fundraiser, so let's get that in because we're almost out of time here.
So, it is Sunday, April 21st at
Okay.
Revolution Hall in Troy. It's from 2 to 6 p.m. It's going to be a great party. It's just going to be a great party. Ronnie, our counterpart in Uganda,
Is he
the
going to be
director,
here?
He's going to be
Ronnie
here.
is going to make it.
Ronnie
Yeah.
Sariange, he's coming Sunday night, and he'll be here for the event. We're going to have LeGrand Saris, locally known
Yeah, I
as
know who that
the
is, yeah.
auctioneer.
Yeah, he'll do an auction.
He's doing our live auction. We're going to have a silent auction. There's going to be a giving tree. There's buffet lunch. and lots of things for people to see. We're going to have Connie's wonderful photos
Yeah,
up on
Connie's,
display.
by the way, she's a wonderful world photographer. So good,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
And
So,
I shouldn't say hopefully, we will have these kids' interviews, and you will get to meet these
each one
children
on film.
through the videos that we
Good,
have.
good.
yeah.
And that, I think, is what Diane and I both came away from this visit with, is just how sweet and wonderful and appreciative these kids are. And yet, in other ways, how sort of isolated they have been in the setting that they are in.
Absolutely,
And they
yeah.
are learning
They're
now about the world.
They're very fortunate to have had you see the need and to move on it.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both for being here, both Connie and Diane. But the important thing is, if you can support them, go to their event coming up on the 21st, which is at Revolution Hall in Troy, a very nice place to have an event, actually. I've been there.
Yes.
And you can get tickets from the website.
Or just make a donation.
Or just make a
Or
donation.
just make a donation. Hey, that
It's
sounds like a good idea.
www.jajjaskids.org.
Yeah, and we've got that up there. And
Yeah,
of course,
thank you.
check my Facebook page. I have all this information on that. It will go on today sometime. So thank you
And
both.
you'll have fun if you come.
Yes,
It'll be a great
You will
party.
have fun and meet these lovely ladies. Thank you both for being here.